Get out of the way.
There's a new tool that I recently built called Promptly, which helps you get more cinematic shots out of your AI video. So go on over to this website. Google released the Vertex AI video generation prompt guide, which gives you everything that you need in order to make a really good prompt, really detailed. So there's 7 different pieces to it. So as you can see, there's the subject, the context, the action, style, camera motion, composition, and ambience. If you describe those different things, then you'll really get better shots because it'll become something more cinematic. Think of it like you're being a director directing all of your shots. So they give you some different examples. So if you use a prompt like this, this is the output that you'll get. However, take a look at how detailed if you just have a prompt like this. So a camera dollies to close-up shot of a desperate man of a green trench coat, and it looks similar to this. It's a really good shot, but if we go a little bit more detailed, following some of their guidelines, then this is how the shot will come out. And if you really take it to the max and follow all of the 7 guidelines, you can get a shot like this. But who wants to go ahead and put in all of that detail? That's the reason why I invented Promptly, so you can go ahead and either click through or briefly describe through several different of the pieces, and you can go ahead and get a detailed prompt, a mediocre prompt, or a very simple prompt. So let's get started. So when you go ahead and you click on Promptly, it's going to ask you those 7 different things, but in simple questions. You can go ahead and fill this out. There's guides here, or we can go ahead and just click presets. For our sample, we're going to go ahead and choose change this from a sports car to a muscle car. And then what's happening in the scene. So since this is a car racing scene that we want, let's go a little bit wild and say accelerating. Actually, let's say accelerating down a downtown city street. Then where does it happen? In these options, we want a busy intersection at sunset. That's pretty cool with the default options. Then what is the style of the video? We want it to be cinematic, but I want cool colors instead of warm colors. So again, you can detail out in this as much as you want, or you can just take the presets and let's go with this. Let's go with the dramatic contrasting shadows. I think that's going to look really good in this shot. Then the final touches, we want this to be professional and polished. And then now the camera movements. There's various shots. For this one, we don't want the still. I don't think side to side will go well with this. So we want to choose like follow along. That's going to be pretty cool for this kind of shot. And once we hit continue, it'll build the prompt. So it'll give you just the medium grade of it, which is 470 characters. Right here, you can just hit the copy button and go and take it to your favorite video, text to video editor. Or we can choose something really small. You can see it gives just very briefly, or we can go professional and it gives more detail, kind of like the Vertex AI guide that Google outlined for us. So let's actually go with that prompt. So let's take this into some of our favorite text to video editors and see what's the outcome that we get. First up, let's go to Midjourney and generate an image. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and animate the image. So I put the prompt in Midjourney and then went ahead and made 4 different cars. I really like the Mercedes looking car, but for this purpose to say consistent with the video, we're going to go ahead and do the Mustang. These are even cool shots that if I were to go with the Mercedes, this is kind of what I would go with. But for the purpose of comparing this tool, we're going to go with the Mustang, and something like this kind of shot, or even this shot, looks really good. Then I took this over to Higgsfield. We want to go ahead and change to the car chase scene, which gives a really good starter scene in the motion and what the camera will do. You need to put in a starter scene. So let's go ahead and add that image of the Mustang. And we're gonna take out the prompt and let the AI figure out what needs to go on here based off the image and the car chase scene. So we're gonna generate that, and then let's see what's the result. Another tool that I really like is FreePick. And so in their generator, they have various different models, whether it's VO3 or VO2 or clean or their own. in free pick, it seems like every so often that they would take video editor and give it away for free. Well, when I say that, unlimited generations on select in the pro and the premium program. So this week they have Cdance, the light version, and this is the generation that it put from the same prompt, and it's more of a video game style. It doesn't look as realistic. So then I took it into the Mini Max, and the car was completely different. And this is just looks like an average scene of it running, the car going past. But when I gave it the reference image, this is what it generated. However, I wasn't satisfied with how it just went off the rails with the scene. Let's go over to, this is VO3 using Flow. I'm using Flow to generate VO3, and let's see the results of this. Actually, it's a little stuttering. I noticed that when you play back online, however, when you play back locally, you can see a drastic difference. Not only is it playing smooth, it has everything that I wanted. I wanted it to zip through a downtown city street, as well as I wanted it to, make pedestrians panic a bit and get out the way. So not only does it have the full sound effects, but it actually has somebody starting to say, hey, get out of the way. So if you want to use this text to image generator tool to make it very easy on you to create more cinematic videos without learning some guideline, go ahead and comment promptly and I'll send you the link to the tool.